Welcome back to Talking Stupid.
I'll happily keep on chatting about any D&D thing people want to have. I'll happily keep on chatting about any D&D thing people want to have.
Stupid. Definitely worth the wait. This time on Talking Stupid, we're going to go over a handful of new episodes that have released, episodes 43, 44, 45, and get into some fun hypotheticals and maybe into a few other shenanigans with the crew. Today I'm joined by, wait, everybody quiet. Do you hear that? It's Chainsaw. And next, with his haunting voice, the equivalent of a 2003 pop rock band, we've got Devin Essence.
Bop. I think I did it wrong.
Yep.
Oh.
Bop.
You just Devin. What?
Dang it. Next time on Talking Stupid, Devin will get it right. But
I'm supposed to say her name, right? Nope. Oh crap.
And we've all seen the weather. It keeps snowing in Texas somehow, and that's only because the abominable snowman. I can't believe I got that
I've
right.
been transported back to my WWFE days. That was great.
And of course, our one and only, the big DM. He puts the D in Wayne. Dwayne Peden.
he's not the only one.
Fun fact: my name's not the only thing that my D's been in.
It's also been in Wayne.
There's at least 3 toasters that have been starred.
That's weird. Wayne, Shane, Devin, they all rhyme.
Devane? Never mind.
None of us knew Shane had a D in it, but
You do now.
the more you
It
know.
was Shane at one point.
There's an apostrophe. It just means you got shamed. Like, it's like getting punked.
All right. So, quick recap for everybody. Episodes 43, 44, 45. A lot of that is the shenanigans in the Tower of the Grand Magus, the GM. Don't call him Maggie, apparently. Doesn't like that. We go and we get Pops busted out of the prison. You guys have some random side research and running about that you do. Some infinite staircases. But to kick it off, we get another callback that as soon as you guys get in there, the old Grand Magus mentions that, hey, I haven't had a lot of visitors since Ilaria left. Dwayne, you just gonna leave that dangling for us, or do we get any? She's popping up everywhere.
Yeah, she's a real traveler of locations. Yeah, I mean, I don't like spoilers. That's Devin's bag, but I will say it has probably been talked about multiple times that Ilaria is my favorite character. From like C1 and stuff like that, and I genuinely love that character as well. And so, yeah, probably going to see more of her here and there.
Oh, certainly. I mean, I feel like Discord has affirmed that she is absolutely one of like the top fan favorite NPCs. And
oh yeah,
if you're listening to this, spoilers for C1, but I don't know why you're listening to this if you're not done with C1. Devin and Shane both consistently get hate death threats when people get to a certain point in that campaign. So.
Yeah.
Stand by my decisions.
Let me just, before we move on, let me just show you something. I opened it up upside down. I have this book, a cortex of sorts. All right, hold on. Do I know how to work books?
Nope.
I don't.
They're made of paper.
It's paper, yeah.
Paper, yeah.
Exactly. But look, Avon made me the cortex of creators and then sketched original drawings. This happened at
Never
DrawingCon.
before seen.
It is one of my most prized possessions.
The only pieces of paper Dwayne owns.
Not even birth certificates or files, like
that he
birth
loves.
certificates.
They're all PDFs.
Yeah.
Also, as a fun fact, I sent out a little thing about like top 10 NPCs vibe. From campaign 1, Alaria is actually second. In the
Oh,
Let me
and
guess.
first is Findle, right?
Kendall.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
I mean.
I was Eo Taringa.
Not Stan. People come in shouting about Stan all the time.
I will
Taringa's
tell
in
you. I will tell you that Taringa bit does not sit in today's culture. Unless we reskin Taringa to be gender fluid, then we're okay.
They always were in my head.
Yeah, I feel like that was the underlying.
Are you gaslighting me?
Just that's how I always looked at it. And I ship Taringa and Stan. Not Stan. Taringa and
You don't even know
Rowan?
who you ship.
Carter Spawn.
So Spawn, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my only ship in all of Lawful Stupid is Spawn and Taringa.
Oh, my only
Not
one
even
was.
Steve
Steve and Eddie, that's not a ship. That's written in the
They
stars.
are. They are.
Canonically fucking.
I've only ever shipped, Kristoff and Rowan. That's the only ones I've ever. I'm like, oh,
Hey, that's a popular ship.
it's a good one.
It's very true. So then we have a brief instance. All three of you guys kind of split your separate ways to tour the tower. Avon Darling went and, well, didn't go because she was already in the library, but dove through some books. Now I'm spacing the one that you did find. I know you were in search of something that was Feywild, but Dwayne gave you, was it the Cortex?
No.
I can't remember what book it was that he gave you.
Avon?
A book. It's a fancy book.
It had a name.
Yeah, it
did.
did have a name. Now, whether or not I remember
She scrambles
that name,
for it
totally different.
quickly.
Scribe Avon?
You just let me know.
That's my bad on notes.
Dwayne's looking at it right
I'm
now.
better than that.
Yeah, I mean, I have the name offhand. It's fine.
Say it.
It is Whispers of the Enchanted Grove, A Journey into the Wilds.
So I can learn how to traverse the lands, avoid mischievous and nefarious folk, and how to speak with them and talk them out, like to figure out their vibes. That's the general gist. Didn't write down the book name, but I did write what I could do.
Hey, that's all that matters.
Unexpected question, because I've done this and I've seen other DMs do this. Is that something that with books you would do as well, Dwayne? Is if a player spends time reading it, you give them certain bonuses and perks based on what it was?
Yeah, I mean, this is 100% homebrew, kind of like bullshit that I'm doing, but it is the same concept. When I ran a West Marches campaign, you were allowed to get books and learn skills and languages and stuff with enough downtime usage.
Yeah, that's kind of what I recall doing. So just curious. Wasn't actually intending that to pop up. But question for Darling is, what if she had that perfect nat 20 roll? What really did she want to find and learn, or was it really just a scavenger hunt to see what you could get?
Scavenger hunt. She's nosy. What could she find in the library? If she found anything useful to her, she'll take advantage of it. But just kind of fun to poke around on people, especially Dwayne's beloved character. Like, why not?
What's he got in his pockets? Which you're not allowed to take anything, so yeah. Then one of the more interesting things, we had Paul disappear off into some kind of garden-esque topiaries abound of all of the Guardians of Goron framed, and obviously he mentions that there is Atlas, Kristoff, Findle. For the rest of you guys, everybody from Shane, Dwayne, Avon, Devin, who unofficially Guardian of Goron deserves a topiary that didn't get the honorable mention?
Like, are you asking? Canonically, there is a list of guardians.
Yeah, not canonically.
Who do we think gets
in your heart? For
this should have got an honorary mention. I'm
honorable shrub mention.
Yeah. All right. Let me think. Let me look at my notes.
There's like who's up there the first place.
We just did like a
you know what? I know who needs an honorable mention as a Guardian of Goron. Nobody ever gives him the credit where credit is due. It's Edis.
Screw that guy. He can eat this, and you can't see what I'm doing right now, but you can imagine.
You can imagine. It's a lot of hamburger. It's a lot of weird hamburger motions. I don't think he does it right.
Is that a pack of Marlboro stuff in there?
He's assembling a Big Mac.
Yeah,
Carton, but yes.
Weird. Carton. But yeah, I told mine. You guys.
Yeah.
Avon, Devin, Shane.
I'm gonna go with Obix.
Oh. Look at him trying to get C5 points. Remember when I said Obix was really cool?
Give yourself inspiration for C5.
I'm just saying. Well, who was more instrumental? And like behind the scenes with the patron campaign and the arcane wars and like the time travel shenanigans.
That's true.
Permeating
That's
that
true.
story.
It's true.
That's true.
Yarg.
Oh yeah, Yarg. That's
Rip
good.
Yarg.
Rip Yarg.
Twice.
Yeah, twice.
How dare you?
All right, Avon.
I was kind of a big fan of the Rowdy Rough Boys we had going on.
The Rowdy Rough Boys.
Lance the Lance Kid.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fucking what's his name?
I can't think of it either. I know exactly. I can picture the face.
I could see it in my head.
Was it Doodles?
It was Doodle's character, yeah.
It was Doodle's character.
But I don't remember what the name was. Carter Swan.
Oh yeah, that's one. Now that you say that.
Then Paul, you end up scoring some Stardust Blossoms. Did you actually ever let Gus know that you grabbed all those flowers for the healing tea? Or is that just hidden in the pockets?
It's still in my pockets for sure. You know what?
Devin forgot he got those.
No, here's what's gonna happen. When we go into this next episode, I'm gonna mention that I left a trail behind me. I don't know how many I got. Boy, I started with one. There's one roughly in the middle, and then there's one at the end.
That's helpful.
It's a one-way hallway. You can't.
No, they're twisted.
They want to leave a trail.
I didn't say it was gonna be a good trail. I just said it would.
Someone's dropped 3 leaves here.
Right.
Dude, do a smell check. You get over it.
I will.
Devin's never allowed to play Hansel, just dropping single breadcrumb in the woods. We'll find our way.
Wasn't supposed
He'll
to eat
figure it
these?
out. If you look at this breadcrumb, it's actually got one piece that's kind of sticking off. I'll use it like an arrow. I'll just point the direction everybody. I'll leave one breadcrumb.
I chew the arrow into it.
He'll figure it out.
He's a smart bear. He's the smartest brother in the family, apparently. And strongest. Whatever.
Cut to Gus walking through the woods, just steps on the breadcrumb. Doesn't even notice it at all.
It's the only thing on the ground.
It's just a single breadcrumb in the forest.
And then we did have the classic Gus in the kitchen moments, whipping up all sorts of things. And Avon, I think this was the most murderous comment that anyone has delivered all season when Shane describes how is it that your soup was like a warm hug from your mother.
I actually have like I've leaned on that more than once, and both times Avon has been like, we have no idea what that feels like. Like, fuck my butts! Oh,
we don't have a mom.
I have a surrogate mother in Trifle.
Not anymore.
She hugged me. She never said anything, but I knew.
What happened to Trifle? She's level 20 canonically. She's so strong.
But, and this again falls to my bad notes for you, Shane. But I want to say it was either Tasty Pasty from Discord or Lawful Stupid Fan. But I have a note that they wanted to know with Gus and all of your cooking, is that a passion that you had prior to Gus, or is that something that like developing Gus kind of gave you? Because I don't even know if they're aware, but I know like a couple months back even there was like a session you had where you were like, Mr. I'm making bread daily, weekly. So
yeah. It's always been I kind of have gotten into cooking pretty much ever since I got out of the army. So like for 3 years now, I've been pretty much into the home cooking, home baking. We got a garden going. I'm really excited to like get in there and cook with stuff that I grew with my own two hands. But I also really love the concept of like using monsters in RPGs to make stuff like Monster Hunter style. So like Timpure's Tome of Animale was a thing that I did a while back, which is just like a bunch of magical items based on magical creatures, and that same concept evolved into like, okay, well, what if you, instead of taking their skin and making pants, what if you ate them up all nami nami and they made you real strong?
Yeah. And then we slowly breach into episode 44, where we start to get towards the breakout. What was it? Just the time space in between? Back to you, Shane. The back and forth, because I believe it was your initial idea, and Dwayne pointed it out that we just put the portal right by Dad's cell and scoop him up. And then when the time came, Gus just like heels dug in. No, I'm not going in there.
Well, because Gus's plan that he pitched was pull the door up to Dad's prison cell. We reach through, grab, pull them back in. I don't want to set foot in the prison. I'm not going back to jail, bro.
Oh, spoilers.
Yeah.
Back to
have you tasted prison food? No.
Burn a memory.
No.
Burn a memory.
Yes, burn a memory.
Tell me about prison times.
right.
I will.
And how Dad helped you escape.
It's actually where
He baked me a cake with dynamite in it.
Paul Barrow just jumps to a wall.
Brother, get round two, baby.
Right.
I was able to fit in between the bars because I am so small.
Why they make bars so big?
I like the idea that Paul Barrow is canonically 3 foot tall.
It's smaller every episode.
But he doesn't know.
I am so big.
He's
There you
Scrappy-Doo.
are, honey.
Yeah, Scrappy Doo. But a polar bear.
It's not even a polar bear. He's like a Dalmatian and just thinks he's a polar bear.
He's a chihuahua.
He painted all of his spots.
I have to go to the hair salon. I have an appointment in town.
I don't want to get in the water. Don't ask me why.
Every RPG player knows that the scariest final boss isn't Tiamat, Vecna, or Orcus. Why? It's none other than scheduling a game, that foul beast. It's no one's fault they can't make it. Tim? So how do we get a game together that is exciting, fresh, and worth exploring? The answer is plainly Roleplay Revolution. Roleplay Revolution allows you to generate ready-to-run adventures in minutes. It comes complete with NPCs, monsters, maps, and more. What a hoot! Your adventures can be highly complex for even the most intelligent, or as simple as you require. Isn't that right, Timmy? Roleplay Revolution has powerful tools that let you tweak your adventure after initial creation, so don't worry about all those last-minute great ideas that you come up with. You start by just throwing out some of your favorite themes, movies, games, etc., just to get the juices flowing a bit. Want to mix high fantasy with your favorite RPG title? Well, go crazy. A mustachioed plumbing brothers and steampunk? You got it. Your imagination is the limitation. Roleplay Revolution allows you to create the game you'd love to run, but just don't have the time to write. To spice it up even more, let's assume that Tim and your other quote-unquote friends are indisposed for a long period of time. Never fear! Roleplay Revolution has an AI-powered DM named Oracle. That's nice. That will never leave and keep its time commitments. Oracle will run the adventures you generate for you. You can run the adventures solo with Oracle, or have it GM for you and your friends. It's free to try, but we, Lawful Stupid, hope you'll hear this and go for the annual subscription. If you purchase the annual subscription and use the code LawfulStupid at checkout, you'll get a whopping 20% off the total price. Head on over to roleplayrev.com and let the games begin.
The tension when you guys did get in there, it was pretty palpable. Dwayne painted a pretty solid picture, and then Paul just goes for like the smash and grab, like we're not gonna finesse this boot to the door kind of scenario. Since he's the one that took the action, Avon, I have to ask you, what was like your feeling and Darling's feeling in that moment of like, oh god, it's on?
Exactly what happened next. She fucking bolted. Like, well, you made a sound. I'm out. I don't want to get caught. I was planning to finesse the situation, but it was a smash and grab. It's like, all right, well, I have done nothing. I'm out.
I was here, I've done nothing, and now I'm gone.
Just that. We have more brothers for Devin to play. It's fine. Leave him.
Yeah, basically.
That's been Devin's theme this campaign.
Yeah. Imagine her first stand-on end. I mean,
how are you gonna make another character with no shirt though?
Oh, that's easy.
You just wait.
You start with no shirt and just build the rest around that.
You build the rest of the character around the shirt.
That's a pantsless and shirtless wizard. He took Glass Cannon to a new level. I won't even wear the robes.
I cast flex.
Boom.
And then right back to you, Paul, on that. As soon as did I guess I should say, did you think you were gonna make as clean of a getaway as you got? What were your feelings, especially when Dwayne cut the episode right as you got to the portal?
Dwayne has no clue what's going on. He needs another week. That's what I was thinking. And I'm gonna push the envelope. No, I was like, you know what? He knows I'm not afraid to build another guy. We always take so much time to just do perfectly on things. My character's built for this. Let's do it.
I guess. And then just to circle all the way around, Dwayne, was it because it felt easy? Was it a matter of, as a DM, you were kind of rewarding them for having a better plan than storming the castle and taking it out? Or was it just, basically, did they circumvent anything, or was that the way you kind of intended it to go at the beginning?
Yeah, no, I can't express to you how I did not expect them to open a portal inside the prison and that be their grand plan. And so to reward them for that seems weird, because that's a hilarious move to just do a mid jailbreak. Because Shane's like move was definitely like pop in his L, get him out, good to go, right? So as a DM, I used the percentage dice to keep them from doing that, right? Like, because his portals aren't perfect. Because otherwise there would have been no tension to build.
No drama.
Yeah, and then as far as making it easy, I mean, I didn't. They rolled well. I rolled what I heard, or with the percentage dice, and stuff was coming. They just rolled really well on all the things they were doing. Because if Devin would have failed breaking the door open, for instance, well, that would have been more time that they're going to get there. Before I had a couple different options, which was invading the window itself. So while they go through, a bunch of people come in with them, and now they've got to deal with that. But when I looked at the timer, like, because I'm watching the timer now, I saw we were coming up on episode time, and I was like, that's a perfect place to stop. It's just dramatic.
I guess that's kind of how I see it. Is, you know, I didn't mean to reward them, but, you know, good rolls, fair plan.
Yeah.
I know some DMs that are like, no, I planned an encounter. You're getting it no matter what.
Nah, I don't give a shit. I will make more stuff to go around, and I'm honest when I don't have enough content. I think I had to do that a couple weeks ago, where I was like, I need more time to plan.
And since we're kind of on the subject of Devin's sacrificial characters, I think it was meant in jest, but since he asked, Tasty Pasty posted, how many of your characters, Devin, are you going to let Dwayne murder before you find purpose?
I think we're there now. I think
as many as it takes.
Perhaps maybe is where we're at. I don't know, man. I really like Paul, and I hope that he survives. But I think I've gotten used. So C1, I would have been. I don't know if I were to say on the podcast, they're like, Alice is dead, but I don't know. I hadn't really played, didn't have a good experience, you know. And then C2 was harder, and then C3 we had sort of a taste of that with like Dwayne and Shane being okay with characters dying if it happened. We went through turmoil. I was not okay. I wanted those characters to stay just as they were.
I had to beg Devin to end Lucian's life. I was like, no, the dice are the neutral arbiter, and they ended my life.
We had some times talking like behind the scenes.
Well, and even right after that episode, we were immediately talking about it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so me coming around and being like, hey, I'm just playing the game like now how the boys have intended, and Avon, I guess, has played before too, where sometimes it happens, and good stories don't always have just happy endings necessarily.
And we end episode 44 with you guys all jumping into level 8. I know you already gave your highlights, but is there anything you guys want to shout out that you're excited about, or just wait till it shows?
I made a choice with Gus to take the tough feat because I do want him to live forever. So I think that's my line in the sand. Like, I'll give my guy a bunch more hit points so that he makes it through.
ASI, no, he's putting on some weight, so he's even bigger than Paul now.
Well, I also already have plus 5 HP in my wisdom, and I'm a druid.
Right? Yeah. It's called effective HP, baby. You know what I will say that none of them mentioned when they were talking about their level up is they have access to a new memory.
Yes.
Well,
I'll never forget.
Avon and Devin do. Shane's already committed that we're getting a prison episode.
Yes,
That's true.
Prison tat time.
Shane starts the next episode when I say, "Guys, this reminds me."
I'd like to use a flashback.
I didn't even say anything.
I just
no need.
Last time on Lawful Stupid. Yeah, I'd like to use a flashback.
And just talks for 40 minutes about prison, the schedules. He became a chef there. It's how he decided when he got out.
But he had to go through the laundry duty and
Yeah,
then
start at the bottom,
the
and mail.
license plate and mail before he could work his way up to kitchen. Then he had
But
to
once
fight.
they
He had
got
to do
me
a
in there-
kitchen competition to become head chef. It's kind of like the Great Bake Off, but like, what can you hide in your cake?
Yeah. No, it was a whole thing. I taught the prisoners how to love again. A lot of them were reformed.
A lot of smooch rebates, really.
He fed them all 100 cupcakes, and then they were all released on
Yeah.
good behavior.
They were
That's
all
true.
pretty much chill after that.
And all of that just so he can pull
That-
a single spell component out of his prison pocket.
No,
Oh,
if I'm using a prison flashback, it's going to be so that I can make the reality that eating 300 of Gus's cupcakes makes you good.
Sold. Yeah, we still need to see how that turns out.
The 300 cupcake alignment shifts.
I'm glad I told my prison flashback. Now, Dwayne, I'll have that pearl, please. Go ahead, reach on up there. I've been holding on to this one for a while. Forgot it was up there.
And then we get Dad back and the reveal of Dwayne's Cradle of Time, or half of it. And even though Amon tried her best to sneak out some identify shenanigans with it, we got some elusive answers from Dwayne, I'll say. So I'm gonna start with Avon, but also Devin, Shane. And if for any reason you've chatted with Dwayne and you might already know its function, just blatantly lie and make something up. But what is your assumption that it's going to be used for? How is it going to play out?
I think he's gonna make something new, especially even though Dwayne keeps saying it's not a cradle. I was like, I keep picturing a cradle. We all keep picturing a cradle. There was a reference from Darling's Phaetron that's basically like, yeah, watch out for your kids. And I'm just like, what kids? She doesn't even plan on having kids. There's nobody right now. Like, when did she ever? So I feel like it's gonna make some sort of new entity or something, especially with all the behind the scenes outside stuff that we're seeing with Aya and the other gods. I think they're all dead. I think new gods need to come out somehow, so this might be it.
Darling's children are like the fractured timelines. Now all of time is your children.
Oh my god. Well, we'll see how that goes.
Devin, what do you got? What's your theory?
Theory is, so when I think of Cradle, the first thing I think of, if you guys remember GoldenEye, there was a level on there called Cradle, and it was like a giant antenna. And what I think is that it's like a way to message other worlds or to send messages out some way. And so we need the other half to get those messages out. Or maybe if it's with time, maybe it's to call back the time. I don't know.
Nice. Shane?
I don't get baby cradle. When I hear cradle and it's a two-part object, I just think that it's like a base for the other thing to go in. It literally cradles the other object. And
Like a Fabergé egg.
Yeah, like a Fabergé egg. That being said, I think that it being a cradle of time, I think that this is a magical artifact that is going to put us exactly where and when we need to be.
Excellent. All right, I did have a couple other Discord questions, and obviously, we'll do it. Eldritch Warrior, Shane, I think you kind of gave him a little bit of an answer on this, but he was calling back to C2 when the cards were given out that altered character traits, and he was just curious. I know he asked if there were any other cards. I believe you said you improv'd most of that.
Yep, made them up.
Right
Made
on the
them
spot.
up. I pulled up a list of the
Tarot
major
cards.
arcana.
Yep.
I assigned them numerical values. I had the party roll. I put like persona and stuff. So like the personification of the major tarot wasn't like super difficult to like think through. And yeah, apparently I got some feedback after that they really liked the cards and that was cool. But I was given like a magical item description from a patron, and it was this deck of cards, but they didn't give like any sort of magical effect for it. Just it was like these golden filigreed cards. So I kind of was like, okay, well, let's make those tarot, and let's kind of do like a sort of deck of many things where it's gonna modify these characters in some way, almost like kind of like a cursed effect, honestly. But they all drew cards. I think after the first one, knowing what they were getting into, at least, it was a good time. I made it up. I make everything up.
Hell yeah. How are we doing on time? I did not pay attention to clock.
We're at 32 minutes. So if you want to do something else real quick, and then we can bounce.
Yeah, I got one more question and then one thing that I'll allude to, and then we can call it and wrap it up. Of course, my final question from Discord comes from Devin himself to Devin himself. Devin, it seems like you're everything to everyone.
It's true. In the show.
Yeah, we just stop there. How do you do what you do? How are you just so important to everyone?
Where to begin? What's the real question?
I can start the list.
What's going on?
Is that a real question that you asked yourself, Devin?
Every day, every morning.
Were you feeling a little bit less humble that day? And you were like,
the first question I ask is, how am I everything to everyone? And then the second one is, why am I here? And then sometimes that order's reversed. Those are two questions.
I feel like if you answered the first question, you would not have very many questions about the second one. You'd be like, oh, I'm here because I'm literally everything to everyone. That's probably why I'm here, to be the central focus for everyone on the planet.
And then, and we can absolutely cut if you guys are, because I know it was mentioned that it's mainly going to be a treat for patrons, so it's more of a teaser. But Avon was setting up her session 0 a couple weeks ago, so there's some fun tidbits out there. I believe $1 tier patron, you can get the early deets on what season 5 is going to look like. So,
that's a good session 0 if you like to hear people just bitch and complain. You are in for a treat. If you thought Shane and I debating and arguing over rules was funny, get 2 of us on the same side about something and we'll just beat somebody up on it until they're black and blue. It's fucking, gosh, good times.
P.S. I still won.
Yeah. Emotional abuse is fun. Yeah, you did win.
The sheer, I felt for you immediately, Avon, at the sheer
I don't think there were any winners.
And at the sheer excitement when
we all got hurt.
We all
because this is you guys mentioned the first time that the 3 of you boys will be playing together.
Oh, yeah.
Previously,
That's
one of you's always had to DM.
That's
So,
right.
So I don't.
It'll be a lot of Shane and I going, no, Devin, no.
I think this is, I mean, a little bit. I don't want to say anything too specific because I know that the timing of things is not exactly lining up. But I'm really excited to play with Alex Goring again. We're playing shuffleboard next weekend.
No. Jan, stop. We're cutting it like 10 seconds before that. Let's just end the episode there.
Playing
excited to play.
But yeah, I don't want to dive through it. I think it's a fun thing to tease for being Patreon tier stuff. But is there anything that you guys, as just to get people salivating, that you want to say that you took away from the sessions?
Well, there's a question in chat from Imagineer that I just saw, and I'm gonna, if you want to tackle that one real quick, since he's listening live.
Absolutely. Except for, nope, I didn't have my messages. Oh, they loaded. They're taking a minute. All right, so we've got a question from Imagineer versus Gaming. He's asking Dwayne, is the metronome similar to the inspiration in Warehouse 13, where if Darling were to die, Tuk Tuk would subsequently die, as well as their fates would be intertwined?
So, yeah, I gotta tell you that what I remembered about that artifact from the show Warehouse 13, which is real good if you haven't watched it, especially if you liked Eureka, both good sci-fi shows. I thought that the purpose of their metronome was that you could revive somebody or keep somebody alive with that, as long as the metronome was ticking. I guess I forgot that it was like an additional life. What I did was basically tie, like, that metronome had to be ticking and it had to be near Tuk Tuk to some degree, which is why, like, when he started to walk away from her, there was issues. But I mean, that's all in the past. You know what I mean? Literally. So you can imagine what happened.
Oh, Tuk Tuk. He lived to the ripe old age of 17
and a half.
18 for podcast purposes.
18 for podcast purposes.
Perfect. All right, Zebra, wrap it up.
Oof. That's the last thing that I had going. Crap, what were we doing?
Gotcha.
You're talking about
cool.
session
So-
0.
We're ending the episode, the Talking Super episode. So yeah, here's the outro. As Zebra always says,
It hurts in the morning.
Mine too.
see someone! Get help! Wipe better! Love you, bye!
Bye.
Stupid.
I'll happily keep on chatting about any D&D thing people want to have. I'll happily keep on chatting about any D&D thing people want to have.
Stupid. Definitely worth the wait.